ever feel like you're almost a victim of your own compulsive behaviors, of your actions that are not supporting your well-being, that you want to change things that are just not working out? You know that you keep tripping over the same mistake, the same action, the same habit that is not fulfilling you and it's not bringing you closer to your real self and to feeling happiness and joy and excitement about life, and it's actually getting you stuck in life. Well, stay with me because I'm going to reveal how can we, in just like a light switch, change our mindset. A lot of those things, the reason we get stuck in our addictions, our old or stories and habits and things that get on the way of us embracing our maximum fulfillment and our maximum potential for radiance, is because we just can't. It's like children. They do well if they can. When they don't do well, it's because they simply can't. They don't have the tools. They don't know how to proceed in order to turn on or off that light switch of whatever is causing them issues in the areas of frustration management, anger management, flexibility, adaptability to circumstances. We adults are not different. We're like a little inner child inside. There are things that really frustrates us. If I tell you how many things just made me really angry and frustrated and overwhelm me in every sense, I think, every kind of condition you can imagine on the planet. OCD, for sure. Like I will be like all these patterns of what I got to do every day, my rituals. I'm hyperactive. If I don't get out and expend lots of energy early in the morning, I cannot function at a normal level. I'm always fidgeting with my hands and always moving, even if I'm working under the desk and just moving my feet up and down. This is my nature. But is it? Do we really have to be a slave to all those characteristics, those distinctions of how we've chosen to manifest ourselves? Or is it a choice? And that is the question. What do you think? What has worked for you or not? And why is it so different and difficult to change? Well, I tell you what has worked for me. And one of the things that made me realize that change can be instant, like changing, light, dark and light, or like saying, I'm going to move from the state of being a victim to the state of being on the power driver's seat and empower myself to own my decisions and how I respond to a situation where otherwise I will be a victim. All these things are choices we have. And at some point in our lives, we forgot that we are the ones that can vote on how we want to respond to what is happening to us. And we can put ourselves on the proactive driver's seat and we can make that choice and just turn on the light switch and make that change just like that. And I have foundations to say that because when I was a teenager and my family moved all the way from Argentina to the United States, that was, oh my God, a shock for me and my family. We had to escape from a country that I had grown up in dictatorship, without rights, without choices. No wonders, I'll do a video about that. Choices really overwhelmed me because I never had any, so I never learned those skills precisely. But we can learn skills to adjust and adapt. And when my family moved to the United States and we lost our friends, our language, our culture, our music, everything that was familiar to me, our beautiful, environment and community and food, everything that was familiar to me, I just went in a state of shock because we went through robbery and stuff like that. And it was so hard. There was no food on the table. Well, guess what? I went into a state of scarcity. And when I say scarcity, it means I did not even feel worthy of living under those circumstances. Unconsciously, I just stopped eating for many reasons, mostly because probably I wasn't happy in that environment. I could not grow. I could not prosper. I had lost everything I knew. And that was what I thought it was my life. Also because there was no food on the table. So I felt, if I'm hungry, imagine my brothers, and I would just give my food up for them as well. And that became a habit. And before I knew it, I was literally starving to death, to the point that teachers went to my parents' house and said, this girl is going to die if you don't do something about it. And that ended up being that the whole family after 2 years had to return to Argentina just for me, because I literally was skin and bones and I was literally to the point of death. And so they took me, my parents took me to the clinical hospital in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, and there was a treatment for anorexic people and bulimic people and all sort of things. But I had a psychological problem. I had come to the habit of not eating. And I did not want to put food in my body. And there was no way anybody could change my mind. It didn't matter who was crying, my brothers, my friends, like, please have these vitamins at least. No, nothing could convince me. There was nothing that could turn on that light switch until my parents signed me into this program. I did not want to go. I was resistant. But the psychiatrist had a one-on-one with me, and she held my hand and says, look, it's this simple. This is your life right here. And there's 2 lines. The way you're going, you are going, if you don't eat, starting today, you're going to die. Nobody else can eat for you. If you go this way, you can live and you can have a life and you can create and manifest whatever life you want. What do you want to do? Because what you have chosen by not eating is to deny and refuse life, to be in a scarcity mindset, and you don't realize, but unconsciously, it's like committing suicide. You're deciding not to live anymore, but you can choose to turn on that light right now and start feeding yourself and choose to live, and your life can be magnificent. Well, that did it for me. Why did it do it? It was that easy. It was turning on a switch, and I decided, okay, where's the food? I'm going to start eating. And it was a gradual process. Having said that, the shift of making that choice and putting myself in the driver's seat, that clarity that psychiatrist gave me, the way she worded it was different than what anybody else had proposed on the table for me to make that change. Nobody else could convince me under any circumstances, not even myself when I knew I had no energy and I will faint. But this person had the ability to manifest it and word it in a way that made sense for me. And that was enough. That light that went on to what I was doing, that behavior, really was like literally pulling off and peeling off a Band-Aid, just like that. It did not take psychology. We didn't have to analyze or psychoanalyze how I had gotten there. What mattered is what I was going to do this moment from here on. And I chose, guess what I chose? I'm here. I chose to live. And that has made all the difference. Why? Because now I'm more passionate about my life. Do I ever fall? Yes, that never goes away. I tell you, I have a pattern. If something is not working out in my life, guess what will be the first thing I will resort to? Oh, I'm not going to eat. No, today I'm just too upset. Nothing, food doesn't want to go in. I feel I'm not worthy, or I don't know what I feel, but that's the pattern. But the difference is that I have integrated that and I can see it. And it doesn't own me anymore. I own it. I decide. And therefore, I can always choose to love myself in the here and now, in spite of whatever circumstances I'm going through. Even if I just lost my mom, which I did almost 3 years ago, and it was a very difficult, painful experience because I hadn't seen her for over 7 years. And by the time I made it to Argentina, she was unconscious. I don't know if she'll ever know I went there. And you have no idea. I was like brokenhearted. But at the same time, I made it there. And even then, yes, my stomach was closing it, but I chose to eat. And so that makes all the difference. Like me, you can also choose what are the areas through an assessment you can detect what are these categories in your life that are black or white, they're victim or ownership, they're great or terrible, they're opportunities or they're obstacles. It's all part of the same. And what makes the difference is that you can vote. You can make that choice. You can turn on or off that light switch at any given point, and you can change your mindset. And if you change your thoughts will affect how your body, your chemistry, everything reacts, your cells, your energy, your frequency that will attract what you want. And therefore, your actions will change, and therefore there will be transformation in your life as you proceed with that vote towards what supports you and the essence of you and your well-being. So the question today is, what are those areas in your life? And if there's too many of them, because for many of us there are, just pick one, the most relevant, the one that is costing you the more not to change, it's not a change, it's simply to turn on that light switch. And if you do that, you're going to be so radiant, and things will start manifesting and transforming for you, and you'll start feeling more alive and more yourself and more authentic, and you'll be able to radiate that beautiful brilliance to the world. And we need to see you, I need to see you radiant, alive, with passion, with a zest for living. I'm going to be doing the same, and if you do the same, together we can make this beautiful, incredible world. Let's do it together. If you need any clarity along the way, if you feel that you just cannot see that that on your own, because sometimes it's hard to see things when you're inside of your own story and you need somebody else to view it for you and to shed that light on those areas that feel dark or shadowy. Please reach out, book a clarity call. We can sort it out and see how I can help you. But you can do this alone, just with a change in your mind and a light switch that is turned on. I can't wait to see you. In the meantime, if you enjoy these videos, please share, please comment below, subscribe, and I keep coming back for more videos. I try to be as vulnerable, as human as possible. I'm not perfect. I don't know anything. I'm not on the top of the mountain. I'm just right here with you, holding your hand, and you're holding mine, and we're helping one another. That is what community is all about, and that's how growth happens. So I'm here for you, and I can't wait to hear back from how all this transformation is manifesting in your life. In the meantime, love, peace, and namaste. Keep shining bright.